Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Most of us say Bismillah before we begin any task, whether it is simple or a significant one. Do you know what it means? Do you know why we say it? What are the different Arabic words that are in Bismillah? In this lesson, you will find answers to all those questions. Welcome to our bite-sized lessons for understanding Quran and learning some Arabic. It may not be the formal way of learning Arabic, but trust me, it's quite an effective way to get familiar with the language of the Quran. This lesson is the first of 3 lessons on Bismillah. In this lesson, we will talk about Bismillah. In second, we will talk about Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most important names of Allah. In the last one, we will talk about Auzu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Please make sure you check out those lessons as well. Let's start with looking at different Arabic words that are in Bismillah. There is the preposition be, which means with in English. There is the word ism, which means name in English. And there is the word Allah, Arabic name for God. If you put them together, the literal meaning is with the name of God, which is commonly translated into English as in the name of God or in the name of Allah. So, why do we say Bismillah before beginning something? If I say Bismillah before I start my video, that means that I begin my work remembering Allah and asking for His help in my work. I am being aware of Allah and His power and recognizing that there is no success without His permission and approval. I always ask for Allah's help, whether it is big or small task. So where do we learn this from? We learn this from our Prophet, peace be upon him, and the first communication between the Prophet and Jibreel, Allah's angel who delivered the Quran from Allah. The very first verse of the Quran to be revealed to the Prophet, peace be upon him, to Jibreel was Iqra Bismi Rabbika, which means read in the name of your Lord. You can find this in Surah 96 Al-Alaq and verse number 1. The words in the name of your Lord follow a similar formula to Bismillah. The Arabic words in it are be meaning with, ism meaning name, and Rabbika meaning your Lord. Every surah of the Quran, except for one, begins with Bismillah. Bismillah also appears in the Quran at the beginning of Prophet Sulaiman's letter to the Queen of Sheba in Surah 27 and Naml. The next question is, why do we have to say it? The result of our every action is in Allah's hand. Regardless of how well we do, we need Allah's help for desired and better results. So it is important that we always ask for Allah's help in everything we do. There are 3 key reasons for saying Bismillah. First, everything we do is for the sake of Allah, and we are asking for Allah's help to complete the task successfully, that is to get the desired outcome. Next is to keep Shaitan away. Shaitan is evil. Shaitan is our biggest enemy. He may distract or misguide us in our work. So it is extremely important that we ask Allah to protect us from Shaitan. In the Musnad of Imam Ahmad, there is a hadith about this. A person who was riding behind the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The Prophet's animal tripped, so I said, 'Cursed Shaitan.' The Prophet said, 'Do not say cursed Shaitan. If you say these words, Shaitan becomes arrogant and says, 'With my strength I made him fall.' When you say Bismillah, Shaitan will become as small as a fly." So we will learn more about this in another lesson. The third reason is to get barakah. Barakah means blessing. Having blessing means having enough resources like time, food, money, or anything else related to enable us to complete our task and to get better results. So next time when you start any work, say, "Oh Allah, please help me succeed in this task. Bismillah." This inshallah will make a big difference to results, also to your attitude. This continuous remembrance of Allah has many benefits. It's time for some Arabic grammar to better understand what the Arabic words mean. So back to our translation of Bismillah. Remember we translated be into English as with, ism as name, Allah as God. Or we can keep it as Allah if preferred. So we have 3 words, with, name and Allah. We translate these three Arabic words into English as with the name of Allah or in the name of Allah. So where do the extra words in English come from? Let us learn a couple of Arabic grammar rules that explain this. They are idafa, hamzatul wasl, preposition. Preposition is called harful jar in Arabic. So let's start with the first one. Why don't we have a word for the and a word for of in Arabic? There is a secret to this. It is a very important concept in Arabic grammar called idafa. When you have two nouns in a row in Arabic, these nouns become connected as if there is an invisible of between them. So if you say, for example, Akh Ahmed, this means the brother of Ahmed. Akh means brother in Arabic. If you say Maryam, this means the mother of Maryam. Means mother. There is no word for of in these phrases in the Arabic, but it is understood. So we have ism, Allah, the name of Allah. And where did the word the come from? There is another invisible word that is understood through the idafa construction. Before we move on, I will quickly remind you about the articles in English. An article tells you if a noun in a sentence is specific or general. There are two types of articles in English. First is an indefinite article, which is used to indicate that a noun refers to a general idea rather than a particular thing. The definite articles are a and an. For example, look at please give me a pen. I am asking for any pen that I can use, not any specific pen. The next one is a definite article, which is used to indicate that a noun refers to one particular thing. There is only one definite article in English, that is the. Now let's get back to Arabic. If I say Baitul Walad, this means the house of the boy. Here, Bayt means house. Walad means boy. If I say Baitul Waladin, this means the house of a boy. Bayt means house. Waladin means a boy. The first sentence is considered to be definite grammatically because we know what house and what boy we are talking about, while the second sentence is considered to be indefinite because we don't know which boy or which house we are talking about. Say I use a person's name in the place of word walad, like Bait Muhammad, the house of Muhammad. Then the idafa construct is definite because Muhammad is a definite person. When the second part of the idafa is definite, then the whole construction is definite, and thus we get the extra invisible the. Bismillah becomes in the name of Allah. The way words are said in Arabic depends on their place and function in the sentence. As we go, we are going to learn a lot of rules related to this. Although this can seem complicated at first, once you learn the rules and practice them a bit, it will become natural to the point where you do not even have to think about this, but just know it intuitively. Let's move on to rule number 2, Hamzatul Wasl. The reason we do not say Bi Ism Allah is related to the following things. The type of alif at the beginning of the words Ism and Allah is known as Hamzatul Wasl. This type of alif, when it does not begin a sentence, disappears into the sound at the end of the word before it. Thus, Bi Ism becomes Bism, and Bismi and Allah becomes Bismillah. So let's move on to the rule number 3. It is something about preposition. Just to remind you, in English, preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words within a sentence. For example, in, on, over, for are all prepositions. In this lesson, we learned that be is a preposition in Arabic. The reason that we say Bismi with the E at the end, that is kasra, is due to another Arabic rule. Be is a preposition, and in Arabic the word after a preposition ends with a kasra. So whenever you see the word be in Arabic, you will find that the word after it ends with a kasra, that is E sound. And some other prepositions that will also always be followed by a word ending in kasra are fi, meaning in, min, meaning from, and ala, meaning on. So for example, we would say fil bayti, meaning in the house, min al waladi, from the boy. That's about this lesson. Now, in summary, saying Bismillah is almost like saying, "O Allah, please help me succeed in this task, bestow barakah, and protect me from shaitan." We learned that we must begin all our tasks with Bismillah, and it provides the protection from shaitan. We also learned 3 Arabic grammar rules. Although we did not cover them in detail, but it is a good start. Finally, every time you say Bismillah, try to recall the meaning of each Arabic word until you fully memorize them. Inshallah, it will become natural after some time. That's about this lesson. There are 2 more topics in this series. They are Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim and Auzu Billahi. Make sure you watch them to get the full idea about the Bismillah. I hope you enjoyed and benefited from this video. If you did, please give thumbs up and share it, and be part of our mission to spread this noble message. If you would like to follow the rest of the series, please click subscribe and the bell icon for notifications. We also have many more bite-sized lessons to help you understand Quran, Islam, and learn the language of the Quran. Visit our channel page to see all those videos. To download a 1-page summary of this lesson and a practice sheet of the Arabic words, just click the link in the description. All our content is free. Peace be upon you. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson.